Hey guys, W here, and today I'll be giving you a full guide on Argus. The guide will cover up hero analysis, hero builds, skill analysis, and lastly, tips and tricks. Hero analysis. Argus's main role is a fighter, wherein the few strengths of Argus would be scaling well from mid to late game. He is a great initiator, and he has high burst damage and damage per second output. As for his weaknesses, it would be low mobility, high ability cooldown, low early game potential, ultimate skill reliant, and item reliant. Now you may be wondering, when is Argus good? Or maybe, is he any good at all? To answer that question, here are some heroes wherein he is highly strong and weak against. Argus is highly strong against heroes who prefer basic attacks or lacks any mobility or crowd control ability, as he can easily turn the battle to his favor with his specific skill set. To name a few, he is strong against heroes such as Alucard, Layla, Silong, and even most mages due to their low HP pool. On the other hand, Argus is weak against heroes with high mobility or crowd control effects, as they can easily lock down Argus when he uses the abilities or misses them. To name a few, he would have trouble against heroes like Franco, Cho, and Harley. So during ranked games, you would always have to double check your enemy and team lineup to see if Argus is viable for the game. For the gear setup, there are two viable builds that I made for him, but I will only be focusing on the second build. This build emphasizes on Argus's high DPS output as well as burst damage with his second ability. This also caters to the playstyle of a jungler role or to those who prefer heroes that emphasizes on basic attacks. The build uses Hassas Claws for early game item for its basic lifesteal and damage, Swift Boots for the needed attack and movement speed, Scarlet Phantom for his core attack speed item to keep his farm going, and for his core damage item, Berserker's Fury, wherein after attaining this item, you can start joining teamfights if you wish. As for extra damage, you can choose between Blade of Despair, Blade of Seven Seas, or Deadly Blade. And for situational items, you can choose between Malefic Roar or Wind Talker, or if you feel more comfortable, you can switch this to a defensive item for more survivability. For battle spells, I highly recommend you use Retribution to clear jungle camps faster, although you can also use Purify to help remove crowd control effect, or Assault to help you chase down high mobility targets. As for emblems, I highly recommend using either physical or jungle emblems because these emblems gives Argus the needed stats to snowball into late game. Argus's passive is Warmonger. Upon having full rage, he unleashes double basic attack on the target. The lower his health, the faster he fills the rage bar. One thing you should note about this ability is that you can use this to push towers or get objectives faster. Argus's first ability is Demonic Grip. This allows him to launch a hook. If this hook hits a hero or monster, he pulls himself towards the target and then he can use this ability the second time, which does a forward slash. Argus's second ability is Meteoric Sword. Argus would do a forward slash. Any heroes hit with this ability would slow them and make them leave a blight trail that gives Argus bonus movement speed. One thing you should note about this ability is that this ability does tons of damage and that you should prioritize maxing this ability first. Argus's ultimate is Eternal Evil. This ability lasts for 6 seconds that makes Argus unkillable. Additionally, any damage he deals during the duration lets him regain his health. There are two things to note about this ability. First is that he can use this even if he is under any crowd control effects, and the second is that he can use this to prolong his life in fight, meaning he can be an initiator due to his ultimate. Before anything else, the most important thing you should know about Argus is his basic combo. His basic combo starts with his first ability, ensuring that it lands on a hero, as this ability does a mini stun to the target. Afterwards, immediately cast your second skill as your target would still be suffering from the mini stun. Then choose between recasting your first ability or basic attack. To ensure maximum damage, make sure that you have full rage bar when doing this combo to trigger your passive. The next thing you should know when playing Argus is his jungle path. The best way to start would be the blue buff side for faster experience. After clearing the buff, you can choose to take the goblin camp or invade the golem camp on the enemy. Once you clear those camps, choose between laning to the solo side or ganking mid lane. If you can't do any of those, see if the crab is available and get it. This will greatly snowball Argus to late game. On the other hand, if you are starting on the red buff side, simply clear all of the camps and get to the solo lane or gank mid lane. If not, see if the crab is available and continue farming towards late game. Lastly, if you feel that you are going to get invaded, simply rotate to the safer side of the jungle and do any of the paths mentioned. Note that if you fall behind, then it would be hard for you to snowball to late game. One tip that you should know when ganking is that you should always aim for the target that is easiest to kill or that has more threat potential. Another tip is that when you gank enemies as Argus, make sure you coordinate between your teammates, especially during early stages of the game, to ensure kills or objectives. This is so that your team can start snowballing to victory. You should also note that as long as you have your ultimate, you can continue helping your team whenever you can. Argus's playstyle highly revolves around his ultimate, so take advantage of this whenever it is available. Don't be afraid of fights as long as you have it, although be wise to choose between fights that you take, as this can still backfire at you. My last tip as Argus is that when facing a tower hogger, don't be afraid of diving them as long as you have your ultimate. Although be sure to bait out their mobility spells before you tower dive, otherwise you're doing more harm than good. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide helped you to play Argus better. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more Mobile Legends content.